Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls. Very pleased to have the principal of Vandebilt Catholic High School, Miss Elise Lebouef. Miss Lebouef, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
And I know I can say Elise Lebouef very fluidly because my niece is named Elise Lebouef.
That's right.
So she's named after the principal, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right, she does attend Vandebilt. So, in a nutshell, first of all, give us a little update. How's things going? I know you switched over from another parochial school, but how's things at Vandebilt?
That's right. Things at Vandebilt are going very well. It's been a very active first semester. We're coming upon exams in a couple of weeks, midterm exams, but things have been going really well. We've had a lot of great athletic events happening. We're jumping right into basketball and soccer and wrestling, and athletic-wise, things are going great. We're in terms of our courses, very active, lots of fun things happening. In fact, we had our open house last week, and so it was a really great time to kind of show off the school and the students to the community.
What are the things that you wanted to do differently that you and maybe President Geldner and some of the faculty wanted to implement and also instill as far as character issues? What are some of the things that y'all put in that are starting to take fruition?
Yes. So one of our big goals was to develop just a positive culture and climate and to increase our school spirit. So we've taken a lot of feedback from our various stakeholders to determine what we can do best to make steps forward. But all the things that we've done seem to be working. To see the kids excited in the student sections and to see the kids interested in making and representing themselves, volunteering to come and do different things for their extracurriculars. It's just been a lot of making sure that everyone feels heard and feels like they belong. They feel active in the community, and to build that good I
want to make a comment because I feel old when they do it, but it's very nice to hear when I'll be on the sidelines covering the football games or whatever. And I see some of the young kids come up and they say hello, and they say, "Hello, Mr. False." And I'm going, boy, that's pleasant to hear. So, and it's not just one or two, it's several. Now, it does make me feel old, but it's nice to see that there's a culture, and I like the respect of it also. Compliments on that.
Thank you. Yeah, the kids are definitely very polite, and they know, how to be respectful not only to adults but to one another. So,
What are some of the things y'all are looking for with enrollment? I know that Vandebilt is trying to, like other schools, get the name out, get people to notice, get them in to at least talk about some of the new things that you all are doing. What are some of the dates and what's the plan on that?
Yeah, so new student registration begins on Monday, February 3rd. But as I mentioned before, we had our open house this past week, which gave a lot of incoming students from our feeder schools and other schools the opportunity to take a tour and look at the various parts of the school to kind of see the plan for the school in terms of construction. As you know, we're in the middle of some construction, and just to get an idea of where they fit into that community. But of course, some people were unable to make it as they had lots of events happening that evening. So we'll have some private tours happening over the next couple of weeks as well. So anybody who would be interested could call the school and set up a private tour. And then, of course, we're just ready to rock and roll. We're excited about the kids coming up. In fact, my daughter is a 7th grader at St. Bernadette. Oh, yeah. So she was in the open house tour. All of her friends were. And after the tour was over, they came and they said, "Do we have to wait for next year to come to Vandebilt?" They're just so excited. They see, just the amazing things we have to offer, the freedom, the flexibility of kind of that more, not adulthood, but versus elementary school. And so they're very excited.
More of a college feel?
Yes. The idea that we have a union now, they said it's not just a cafeteria, it's a union, and you get to choose from all the different food. They're just very excited. So it's not
only a college preparatory school for academics, but socially too as well.
Yes, absolutely. And that's part of what we aim to do at Vandebilt is holistically form the student. So we can't just focus on academics. We can't just focus on sports, but it's about all aspects of how to interact socially, how to work collaboratively in classrooms and in extracurriculars. So that's a big part of it.
How has it changed coming from, really the younger level to the younger adult level? A lot of people might say, well, 6th and 7th to 8th and 9th, no big deal. That is a big deal, isn't it?
Yes.
Big jump.
Yes, it really is a very big jump. And it's interesting because within the elementary level, it's a much wider gap of ages. In the Catholic school system and the diocese, it's 10 years of elementary school from pre-K 3 through 7th. But then when you get to high school, it's just 5 years, 8th through 12th. And so it flies quickly. And to see the growth in the students in those 5 years, they just really become adults and start to find themselves and but work on their individuality. And it's very cool.
How is it different? Before we take a break and come back for another segment, how's it different being a principal where you were at St. Bernadette and then you jumped to Vandebilt, where, I guess for lack of a better word, the young students, some of them may be testing their adulthood a little bit. Is it different to principal people at those two levels? It
is different. A big, one of the first things that you notice when switching between the two levels is the little kids are so excited to see you. Whenever they see you, you're a celebrity. The big ones are not quite as excited to see the administration, but they still, while it's different, they both have their plus sides and their positives. And it's just, you get to really, truly collaborate with the kids at the high school level, and they get to be more hands-on and involved in the things that happen, which is
to be honest, when we went to Vandebilt, we weren't excited to see the administration.
That's right.
But as we became closer to them,
yes,
you realize they're looking out after your better interests, and they're not always sneaking up on you in class so they can catch you.
That's right.
They're just sort of curious about what's going on.
That's right.
Trying to better.
That's right.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to be right back with the principal of Vandebilt Catholic High School, Miss Elise Lebouef. Don't go away.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
All right, we're back. We're talking Vandebilt Catholic, Miss Elise Lebouef. We appreciate her coming on, giving us some transparency about Vandebilt Catholic. I noticed different things when I visit there. I hate to say when I was back in school because it's the only reference I have. But when we were in school, you might have had 8 cheerleaders. You had a dance team. You had all kind of things. But I noticed the band is bigger, more sophisticated. The cheerleaders, a lot more numbers. They incorporated the younger cheerleaders with them.
Yes.
And you could tell the younger cheerleaders were just elated to be there.
Yes.
And the dance team, just a lot more pomp and circumstance around athletic events, I guess by design.
Yes, we are aiming right off the bat as soon as the students come in to grab them and get them involved and get them that ownership. So we further developed kind of the junior high and JV components of some of those activities that you mentioned, like dance team and cheerleading, so that the students don't have to wait until they're in 10th grade and 11th grade to really get involved in those things.
And my niece is in weightlifting, and it was funny to watch. She's a beautiful young lady, but she's so enthralled in weightlifting, and they all watch what they eat, and they're on special diets and everything else. And I'm going like, God, they specialize so much nowadays. We just used to sort of do a little bit of everything, but do y'all try to find each person's strength and sort of let them migrate to that?
That's correct. Just by nature, even in the younger students in elementary school and just in CPR and things like that, they find a way to specialize early. Competition, dance, travel ball, all those things. The students are naturally trying to specialize early. So we want to make sure that we're able to find a place for each student, that every student has a home within the home and feels comfortable and finds their strengths to develop who they want to be.
All right. Let's talk about stats, because I know a lot of reason that people would send their children to Vandebilt is because they're thinking ahead. They're thinking of college. They're thinking of how can I best prepare my child to get to Nichols or LSU or Tulane or Southern or Grambling, wherever they're going. Give me some stats.
Yeah, so that's one of the questions most frequently asked. A lot of people don't think of it when the students are coming in as 8th graders, but it's all looking to 12th grade. It's all looking to college. So we've got some interesting statistics coming off of our graduating senior class. They were accepted into 40 universities across the country, which is very exciting, with over $6 million worth of scholarships that they accumulated. 89% of the senior class received tops, which is a pretty high percentage. Wow. Over 30% graduated with honors. The ACT, the average ACT score over the last 5 years has been at a 24, which is a pretty solid score, several points above the state and local averages. So we've been rocking and rolling, and we're looking to find ways to continue to increase those kinds of things. We've had 55 National Merit Scholars over the history of the school, which is based on the PSAT. So those students rank in the top 1% nationally. So each of those things we're just working to plug along to continue to show off our awesome and very talented students.
You know, it's funny because I was in the class of 78, and we still pride ourselves in the way we were as the class of 78. I know y'all try to instill class pride too, because once you leave, there is some pride and some bragging rights. And I know the softball tournament, and I remember all them young teams used to try to lower our class and then go back and play softball, because back in the day, we were fortunate to win it. But they wanted to get us back in there so they could beat us, so they could say they were the best ever. We were smart enough that we were old enough that we weren't having no part of it. So the class thing still is big, isn't it?
Yes. We definitely still have a lot of class excitement and pride based on your class. We've got a lot of different events that classes will host, not only individually like reunions, but also, as you mentioned, the softball tournament. We just had a basketball alumni event this past weekend, which was pretty cool to see a lot of the younger folks coming in to play basketball. But, there is still that pride of graduating classes too.
I know you'll have a lot of auxiliary crews. I see Kevin Ramirez running around all the time. Y'all have different people involved in the school. I guess it's a very key part of Vandebilt that with everything y'all are doing, y'all do need outside help, don't you?
Yes, we are certainly, and everything that we do is a partnership. We partner with parents, we partner with the community. Without those partnerships, the school would certainly not be where it is. And we have the blessing to be able to have not only our teachers involved in our extracurricular activities, but we can get some community members involved as well, not only in coaching or on our different boards, our consultative school board or our Terrier Club board. And we get the opportunity to really to bank on their gifts and their expertise and bring that in to make Vandebilt what it is.
So if I were to ask you, you're still having fun at this point of your tenure as the principal? You look like you're still smiling.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very much enjoying it. It's nice to be home, to be back home, and we're having a great year.
Yeah, and I know y'all are looking at growing up. I've seen progress on the athletic side of things too, with things just being, not to say anything about coaches of the past, but you could tell there's just a different culture and people are looking at things a little differently.
Yes. We've had several new coaches come in. They've really done a great job of making connections with the kids and helping build that culture and that climate with the kids, and that we know it's a community. It's not just about each individual sport, but we're a school together and we support one another. So to see the football players supporting the volleyball team when they play and, the kids supporting one another has been great. And a lot of our new coaches and our teachers model that for the students.
Always good to talk to my alma mater and the principal. So congratulations on what you're doing. Thank you for coming, and keep us posted.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, there you have it. Miss Elise Lebouef, the principal of Vandebilt Catholic High School, will keep you posted on the progress of one of our schools here in Terrebonne Parish and other schools. If you want to come on Bayou time, give us a call. We love to represent everyone. We'll see you around the corner.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.